Hi everybody, it's October 16th, 2020. I hope you're doing great. I'm driving around the city and seeing still a lot of people muzzling themselves. They have not figured out yet, or they're being reprogrammed over and over again with TV and news and everybody that supposedly knows how our bodies work, which they have no clue if they're telling you to wear a mask. All these people are muzzling themselves. Now, if this was about health, anytime anyone says put a mask on, first they would say, how's the water you're drinking? How's the food you're eating? How are the thoughts you have? How are the emotions you have about those thoughts? Do you do yoga? Do you stretch? Do you work your body out? Do you move the electrical conductivity of your body around? Do you have a proper oxygenation in your body? Did you know that if your body's pH is out of balance, either acidic or too alkaline, that you will then breed bugs and sickness and disease? They don't say that. I haven't heard them yet. So they're saying wear a mask, which means trapping all of your waste in your mouth to breathe in, which means you're oxygen deprived, which means you have high CO2 levels in your blood, which means your blood is acidic, which means then your blood is not at 7.35 to 7.45 pH, which is minus 25 millivolts. That is what the human body needs to run at optimum efficiency. Anything above or below that is less than optimum efficiency. So by wearing a mask, you are increasing the acidity, lowering the oxygen concentration, and increasing the CO2. This is common sense. I'm not sure how people still aren't getting it yet, and it's upsetting to see how many just all right, tell me they don't want to think for themselves. Stand up and think for yourself, guys. Look around you. As we're going through this false pandemic for the cold, it's a common cold. The virus is real, but it's not deadly. It's not that dangerous at all. Actually, there's a 99.9999. Hold on, a 99.99, and then you could add nines versus which age group. The younger you are, you have more nines in there because it's even less dangerous for you. The older you get, the more immune compromised you are because you've been in a parasitic system of enslavement, which is designed to make you sick, make you weak longer. The older you are, and the more pharmaceuticals you are on that makes your body acidic, you are going to be more susceptible to bugs. That's just how it works. Now, if you take care of yourself, you could be old as you want and still be healthy as you want. But a lot of people aren't doing that. I would say most people nowadays, because everywhere you go, the food is no longer food, it is feed. And I don't like being negative or talking negative about these things, but these are facts, and we are being told lies on the news, on the TV, on the radio. Our politicians, our so-called religious leaders. If a religious leader tells you to have faith in God, to believe that God created you and your immortal soul is infinite, everlasting, capable of absolutely anything, and then they tell you to wear a mask before you come into their church, which is it? Which is it? You do not have common sense if you're telling somebody to wear a mask while they're coming to worship in a temple, when they're carrying they are their temple. And when you're telling them that it's about making you feel weaker than you are. You are the creator. You and I are both the creator. Every single conscious being out there, your dog, the bird flying down the street, the cat down the street, everything is conscious. It's all resonating and vibrating. It is part of source, all of us. This whole illusion we live in, when you leave, this will fade away from your perception, and you will be reunited with source, and you will look at your life in a timeline and see everything you did and felt and thought, and say, I like that, but I don't like that. And if you feel that you really need to come back and do more, you'll come back and do more. If not, you'll go to the next level, wherever you want to go. That's how this works. I don't want you to believe me, but I've experienced it. I know. I remember it. I've held on to those memories as I've entered the dream, this illusion we call. So we're being lied to. You have the power inside you. Always have, always will. Unless you give that power away because you lack understanding, innerstanding. When you lack that innerstanding, you can get moved around. You're on a foundation of sand. So the same thing with these political systems, these governments that we have, these religions that we have. I've been researching these a long time. They're built on a foundation of sand. The whole house falls when you point out the foundation is flawed. So I'm not saying they're all bad, but you may want to research before you give your voltage, your conscious co-creative ability, when you hand that power over to them. That's what they want you to do. If you do that, then they can think for you instead of you thinking for yourself. The way the source created you to do, to come here and manifest this reality. Now, that being said, everything's happening the exact way it needs to happen. That's how it always does. Source is running all of our lives. We have autonomy to move around, but eventually you're gonna, you're a boat on the current. You're not moving the current, so you can move your boat around, but it's gonna go that way no matter what. So the reason we see these things, and the reason I'm seeing these things, is because it's a karmic lesson for myself and for you, for all of us. And there's a lesson for us. So a lesson for me, I think, is not to be so attached, to see why are so many people not getting it. Because it does. It bothers me at times. I'm getting good at being, not being attached to it, in the world but not of the world, as Christ taught. But I love all of you so much, and I see so many of you being misled and lied to, that it bugs me. I don't like that. I like my family, which you are all my family. All of conscious is my family. We're all one. So anytime I see my family being tweaked and bothered and told lies, it's gonna set off alarms in my head. I'm like, oh, that's not right. Let's dig down to the foundation. Is it true? Does it feel right in my heart? Does it feel right in my gut instinct? Then I act with my mind. So the vaccines they try to push, the masks they're trying to push, it's psychological warfare. It's to get you feel less powerful than you are. So by putting a muzzle on a dog, the dog puts its head down and it feels bad. Do that to a human, same thing. You're breathing your CO2 in. You're increasing your acidity in your blood. Any medical profession, any of them, professors and professionals know this. The fact that they're not out yelling, and I mean a lot of them are, but not out there telling everybody, take your mask off. This is not how this works. Your body's designed to fight bugs and get stronger from doing so. When you breathe a bug in, it goes past your tonsils. Your tonsils record the resonance, because everything's vibration, and it tells your brain, okay, this is the pattern we need to fight. Your immune system then creates white blood cells to fight that bug. Now, if you block that from happening and you're just breathing in waste all day, number one, your body's not getting stronger by resistance, breathing outside bugs in. Number two, your body's getting acidic, which then makes it more susceptible to sickness and the bugs that are already inside you. And then when you do finally take the mask off and your 5G tower is blasting your body with vibrations, and you're eating your GMO food, and you're going to the doctor to take synthetic chemicals that increase the acidity of your blood and bring your hormones out of balance, and you're drinking your tap water with fluoride and chlorine in it, which Alzheimer's and a lot of other problems, cancer is one of them. All of these, that's a recipe for disaster. So what they're doing is trying to eliminate 90% of the people on the planet. And I know that sounds shocking, but if you understand what I understand what I say, and it's not my opinion, it's a fact. You sit down with me. I will be glad to sit down with anybody on the planet. I don't care if you're the Pope, the President, or a guy in the street bumming for money. We're all equal. None of us are better than the rest of us, and I know that I can present facts to you that will show you, and if you're open to it, you'll say, oh, holy shit, okay. If not, there are people who are blinded. They're purposely like, I don't care, you can show me proof, I don't believe it. I believe the TV, it's programming. And I'm not judging, but this is your family's lives at stake. This is everybody's lives at stake. If they want to get rid of 90% of the people and enslave the rest, that means everybody's involved. We're all involved with this. Now, your consciousness is powerful enough to overcome all of this, but you have to choose to do that or not to choose to do that. That's up to you. So how you live, how you feel, how you act affects your reality. So just like I said with letting things bother me, that's a lesson for me to learn, not to let these things bother me. But I've explained why that bothers me. So being being human here, you're partially human, you're source, but you are carrying a physical ego. It just makes it a little difficult to deal with these things sometimes. So I love you all. Be well. I'll talk to you soon in the next video. Thank you.